During slavery, a black kid was more likely to be born under a roof with his biological mother and biological father than today. That's the problem.
I've told you that the minimum wage has racist origins.
The Democrats' refusal to even consider the privatization of Social Security.
It is outrageous that the Democrats believe that Donald Trump is a racist.
This is Larry Elder, a right-wing radio host and regular Fox News commentator with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Sound familiar?
You could be a kind of drain the swamp governor. A bit of Trumpian philosophy comes to Sacramento.
On September 14th, Californians will vote in a Republican-led recall election to oust Governor Gavin Newsom. And right now, Larry Elder is leading the pack of contenders to replace. With polls tightening, Elder could very well be elected if a majority of voters don't oppose the recall of the governor.
Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom faces a recall election.
Organizers say they've submitted over 2 million signatures supporting a move to oust him.
So who is Larry Elder, and what does he believe? Larry Elder has called Roe v. Wade one of the worst decisions that the Supreme Court ever handed down, and threatened to fire thousands of public school teachers if he's elected. He also opposes the minimum wage.
Regarding the minimum wage, the correct minimum wage ought to be zero.
How do you think California voters currently earning the minimum wage would react to that?
Well, given the indoctrination that people have about the minimum wage, they probably would react to it well.
And when it comes to the environment, Elder all but denies that climate change is responsible for the massive fires that rage across California every year.
Because of the stranglehold the environmentalists have had on Sacramento for the last 20 or 30 years, anti-growth, 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 anti-oil and gas, anti-water.
Believe that fires, for instance, in California have gotten worse because of climate change?
I'm not sure it's because of climate change. Fires have gotten worse because of the failure of this governor.
With the COVID-19 pandemic still rampant, Elder says he will lift mask mandates and COVID testing requirements if he's elected.
No state worker is going to be required to take a test once a week and be required to wear masks at work.
He recently had an anti-vaccine physician on his show, trumpeting conspiracy theories about the virus.
Bill Gates, who's behind things like this.
Right.
So he wants population control. So I ultimately don't have a lot of trust in what they're doing.
So how did Larry Elder seemingly rise out of nowhere to become a leading Republican candidate and potential next governor of the most populous and progressive state in the country? Larry Elder grew up in Los Angeles and practiced law before becoming a media personality. He rose to prominence as a host of The Larry Elder Show, which launched in the 90s and is still running.
790 KABC Talk Radio. Buenas tardes, Los Angeles.
Larry Elder built his career amplifying right-wing talking points, denying racism, and allying himself with corporate interests. In 2000, Elder's book, The 10 Things You Can't Say in America, claimed blacks are more racist than whites, and there is no glass ceiling. In 2004, he self-financed a pro-gun documentary called Michael and Me in response to Michael Moore's Bowling for Columbine. It went straight to DVD.
One of the biggest things under attack in America today, the Second Amendment.
Larry Elder's claims that racist policing is a big lie and diversity initiatives are
Liberal fascism.
have made him a regular on Fox News in recent years.
Systemic racism is not the problem, and critical race theory and reparations are not the answer. You're being manipulated. You're being used just for your vote. Knock it off.
Now, this may be the first time you're hearing about Larry Elder, but you've definitely heard of his friends. Elder has maintained a close relationship with Prager University founder and right-wing radio host Dennis Prager for decades, regularly appearing in PragerU videos, including The Ferguson Lie.
Officer Wilson did nothing wrong. There's another way to put this. The statement that an innocent black man was killed by a racist cop in Ferguson, Missouri, is a lie.
Elder's right-wing beliefs have also made him a mentor to a new generation of extremist conservatives, such as Breitbart editor-in-chief Alex Marlow and infamous Trump advisor Stephen Miller.
You think Stephen Miller is a white nationalist?
A white supremacist, I would say, because I believe his ideology is one of domination and control over people of color.
Look at me. Do I look like a white supremacist?
Stephen Miller is one of the most prominent faces of Trump's anti-immigrant agenda, who was first inspired by Elder as a teenager in Santa Monica, when he called into the Larry Elder Show to rail against his public high school's so-called campus indoctrination machine. They've had a close friendship ever since. Larry Elder wrote to Miller in a 2016 email, "I hope to live to see the day when you become president." But it's Larry Elder's political future that's drawing attention now, as he gains steam in the recall election. So how does the recall actually work? The ballots being mailed out to every registered voter in California will ask 2 questions. 1, do you want to recall Gavin Newsom? And 2, if Newsom is recalled, who do you want to replace him? If more than 50% of voters choose to recall Newsom, the recall candidate with the most votes will become governor, even if they receive a minority of the vote. This means, in a state without a single Republican in statewide office, a right-wing candidate could become the governor of California with just a fragment of the vote. Every active, registered California voter should receive a mail ballot to vote, and they must return it by Election Day, Tuesday, September 14th.